Welcome back to the DFS Special. I'm your host, your DFS Jerusalem, coming to you live from the list. You got 150 entries, and then you're a shark, and I don't fuck with you. So there's too much good shit on here. This is the often imitated, never duplicated. I'm here with my lovely co-host. Thank y'all. Stay safe. Enjoy. I may have been calling in to work. You're gonna be in the running for the Snowflake of the Year. Get your shit together with your snowflake. I'm here at the crib, man, and I'm just finishing up stop. Throw them bitches in the main. I'm telling you. You're gonna see the results, bro. You're gonna see it. This is what's really gonna help you out. You know how I feel about the home dogs. There's a lot of fight in the home dogs, and I really think a lot of shit to go over tonight. Who that scored all them points over there? Player of the night.
Get him in your lineups. Get him in there, and let's go get this money.
Thursday, let's go, and remember, in the sweatshop, we always keep it 300. What is going on? What's happening? This is your big homie, the DFS Jerusalem, and you can follow me, of course, on Twitter at DFS Jerusalem. Yo, a lot of shit to talk about today. As far as NFL, NBA is definitely, this is an NBA show, so of course we'll be talking some NBA. But yo, it was crazy. I want to talk about this this Jesse James catch. And kind of get your thoughts on it, man. I want to weigh in, and I want now. It says here, Rule 8, Section Number 1: a player is considered to be going to the ground if he does not remain upright long enough to demonstrate that he is clearly a runner. If a player goes to the ground in the act of catching a pass, with or without contact from an opponent, he must maintain control of the ball until after his initial contact with the ground, whether in the field of play or in the end zone. If he loses control of the ball and the ball touches the ground before he regains control, the pass is incomplete. So by that rule, the catch that we saw, that was a catch, is not a catch. And it is the weirdest set of rules. And this is what bothers me. This is what throws me off about the whole catch thing. This is what I don't get about it. Okay? Because you see him make like a double clutch, double pump move with the ball. And okay, so he catches it. Bam. It's a catch. I got it. He has it. He catches it. Then he tucks it. Because I'm probably going to get hit or something. Now he tucks it, the knee is down. Right? He tucks it, the knee is down. Then he stretches it out. So if it's anything, for me, it would be like a fumble type deal where the ground can't cause the fumble. So, and the plane is broken. This rule is horrible, bro. This is one of the worst rules I have ever seen. And then we got to take into consideration that I had Jesse James in a couple of my lineups too. So a touchdown here would have been clutch for me. But how was that not a catch? And of course, that last tweet was courtesy of Sports Center. They went ahead and broke out the whole rule book, and then you see why that is not considered a catch. But that is some tough shit, bro. That is tough, bro. That really hurt to watch. The Pats, be about to get their ass whipped, and to not come through, man. To lose, and it seems like teams make the worst decisions against the Patriots in the fourth quarter. In the fourth quarters of games, teams just lose their fucking minds and make the most ridiculous plays. And most of the time, it does result in the Patriots win. So it was tough, man. It was tough. Then we had some Derek Carr drama going on with him with that game. It was a tough night, man. Tough night. So let's go ahead and jump into some NBA. This is the NBA show, man. We're gonna look at the week, man. Look at the whole week and see exactly how things are gonna be shaking out for us. Let's take a look, man. We're gonna go to, and this was from last night's games. We had Sacramento, Toronto, Orlando, Detroit, Indiana, and the Brooklyn Nets, and then of course the Cavs and the Wiz, man. And those were pretty decent games. As you can see, none of the games really like completely blew the fuck out, with the exception of the Toronto-Sacramento game. That game was kind of over before it hit the triple zeros. But it was a good game. It was a good game. And I want to go back to explain my whole Patriots thing. I was talking with a friend of mine about this. It's kind of hard. See me, I'm a Giants fan, okay? And yeah, this Giants season hasn't been that good. But I just turned 39 last month, bro. And I'm gonna be honest with you. The whole 40 years I've lived, I've been a Giants fan, and it's been wonderful the entire time. Like I haven't had to wait too long for a Super Bowl. My teams have pretty much always been either in the hunt or at least showing me that they were about to bounce back and make a major move to get back to the top. Um, I'm not like the Cowboys fans who haven't won anything in 20 some odd years. I'm not like Pittsburgh Steelers fans who the bulk of the winning happened before I was born. I'm not a 49er fan where, I had that short window where I won a lot, 5 championships, and then I haven't won anything in so long. Like, I'm not like that. Or the only people that can really say that they've had a better fan experience at my age is the Patriots. And if they say that, then I can say, well, kind of not really, because I beat you twice in the Super Bowl, and actually everything you have is kind of dedicated or predicated on the fact that a Giants mind went to went to Foxborough and won there, because of course Bill Belichick is definitely is a part of the Bill Parcells coaching tree. So I'm not mad at Patriots or their fans the way a lot of other people are. I kind of like to see Bill Belichick do well. So he's a guy that I absolutely do. I have a lot of respect for him. I do like him. He of course is a Giants guy. So I don't hate on the Pats like everybody else does. I beat them a couple of times. The better players from the organization are actually, or the better people from the organization are actually Giants folks. So I don't really hate on them the way a lot of other people do. So shout out to the Pats, man. They're probably gonna win the Super Bowl again, and they should, because the NFL continues to help those guys out. But so Sunday we had those 4 games. Now Monday we've got 10 games on the slate, and I can tell you the first game is looking juicy and appetizing to me, because it is my New York Knicks coming right down the road there to Charlotte to take on the Hornets. And I wish I could go to this game, but I really do. I love to watch my Knicks play. I'm kind of a low-key Hornets fan because I live so close. And I'm thinking about it, but there's a good chance that I will not be going to that game. So we got 10 games there. Then on Tuesday, we shrink it down to 3 games. And this is where we got Giannis going up against LeBron. This is the NBA TV game. That's going to be a big deal, a nice game for us to watch on a small slate. Then Wednesday, we ratcheted back up, and we got 12 games here. So we got the Raptors going to Charlotte. We've got, what are the televised joints? We got some good televised joints. The Clippers and the Rockets is probably a good one. A lot of running in that one. Then we got Memphis and Golden State. That's probably going to be a snooze fest. But then Thursday, we've got 5 games, and the Natty Telly is going to be San Antonio and the Utah Jazz. At the late game, we got Boston and my Knicks. It's going to be the early game. That's going to be a good one. I'm going to like that one. Then Friday, we got a ton of games Friday, man. We've got 9 popping off. That's going to be good. The Knicks are playing all week long, bro. This is a nice little road tilt for my Knicks. And the televised games here are going to be the Clippers and the Houston Rockets. Chris Paul. It's going to be the Clippers coming to Houston. So it's not really the revenge narrative that everybody's going to make it out to be, but it's still the Clippers and the Rockets. So that should be a good one. And then we've got Golden State and Los Angeles. It's going to be the late game at 10:30. That's going to be a nice one on Friday. And then Saturday, we got a full day of games starting at 5 o'clock. We've got, I believe, 13 games? Oh, yeah, that's going to be nice. 13 games. So the main slate probably will start around 7 o'clock with the Milwaukee Bucks going to Charlotte. And I might go to that one, bro. See some Giannis. That'd be dope. And then Sunday, of course, there's no games, so that's going to be Christmas Eve. And then we're going to follow that back up with Monday, Christmas Day. So it's going to be a nice slate of games this week, man. So let's go in. Take a look, man. Start one by one and kind of crack this puppy open and see what we got. So let's go. And we're going to be using RotoQL. Like I said, this is my favorite DFS tool to use, man. Very solid site. Cool people, man. I love the layout, the template, the way everything it looks for me. It's easy to navigate, easy to use. And the homie John G has been doing some solid tutorials about, because he's been digging deeper and teaching me some things about RotoQL, man. So it's really dope, really enlightening stuff that we've been doing inside of the VIP. So Come check it out. If you want, the link to the description is going to be here. The link to the description, well, in the description, I'm sorry, to the video, there's a link to get up with the Riddle Q if you wanted to make use of it. So let's go ahead and get it popping. First game on the slate. You know what time it is. Let's get it in. We got to go and we got to do it.
I got hoes.
We have Kemba at the crib with my New York Knicks, a team that struggles so heavily against point guards, man. Oh, man. We take a look at what he's done. Because I think I've gone to Charlotte to see him play against my Knicks quite a few times, and I don't think he destroys the way people would like to think. 35 last time against them. That was in New York. 51 last time before that in New York. And see, that's when I like to play Kemba. I like to play Kemba. See, that's one where I like to play Kemba in New York as opposed to playing him in Charlotte because he is from New York and he usually gets a ton of tickets for his family. He grew up in the South Bronx. Shout out to the homie Kemba who grew up in the South Bronx, and that's usually where he puts in complete work at. He doesn't play as well against the Knicks at the crib as he does in New York. So while he's gonna be a guy that's on my radar, I'm sure. See, I've shifted the culture. Okay, this started off as a joke. Kemba at home with the hose. I shifted the culture in terms of people even noticing the Hornets and noticing Kemba in the DFS world. I'm gonna be real with you. I know I did because Kemba at home is a thing, and while I do not think he is a bad play at the crib, I think people that have been riding our jocks with the Kemba at home thing is gonna be so in love that it's gonna be so overweight. Everybody's gonna want to play Kemba. Kemba is not gonna be low owned guy because when I was talking about this a couple of years ago, I was like, yo, Kemba is always 10% or less. He is always low owned, no matter what the slate. He's always so low owned. Nobody likes to play him, and he's good at home. And now it's kind of a thing. So my enthusiasm for playing Kemba at the crib against the Knicks is kind of curbed, but I will have some exposure. I will look to it, but I can assure you I'm going to be less than the field because everybody's going to be jumping all over this. That's kind of what they're going to be doing. So 8K, be looking at Kemba, not a problem. Dwight Howard at 8.5. Yo, I would rather play Dwight Howard at 8.5 because I know a double-double was coming, and I know he's going to cause some problems, man, for not only Kristaps Porzingis, but especially Enes Kanter. Nick Batum at 6.4. I don't really love that. MKG looks to be in play for me at 4.8. I can dig that. And Marvin Williams at 4.4 looks to be a usable piece to this puzzle. On the other side, Kanter at 6.3. I don't love Kanter, bro. And Kristaps is just priced up at 9.4. That is just too high in price. Let's take a look and see what he's done in Charlotte. I remember going to see him play a couple of times there, man, and he hadn't had great games against him. He hadn't had great games against him. So and the price is just 9.4. I don't love him. Now, if he doesn't play, of course, everybody is going to run over to Michael Beasley, but I can tell you this, Michael Beasley is now 5.9. He's not 3K Michael Beasley anymore, so you're gonna be paying up for that one. And honestly, I just don't love it. I don't love it. I mean, is Beasley in play? Of course he's in play because he's gonna be starting against a team that does give it up somewhat to power forward, especially guys that can score on the wing the way Michael Beasley can. Well, actually, Beasley has an inside and outside game. He's an inside-out player, so I definitely think that he's gonna be a play. Will I be all over him? Probably not, but I can highlight him just for the sake of that. Frank Nitti at 4.7. The price is up. Yo, he is priced like a guy who is starting. He does. Let's check out his minutes. Let's look at the last few minutes for the homie. 13, 27, 29, 26. So he does have the potential to play lots of minutes too, especially with Tim Hardaway Jr. continuing to be out. So I'm going to look at Frank Nitti, especially if Kristaps is out. They're going to need that scoring punch from somewhere. So I don't really love this game. This is not a game that I actually love. It's really not. Next game we got is going to be the Boston Celtics going to Indiana to take on the Pacers. This should be a good one. Vic Oladipo, 9.3. He has not lived up to that 9K plus billing over the last few times you've seen him priced that high. The 9.6, he scored 46 against Detroit. That was close, but just not enough. 9.6 against Denver. That was a good one because he hit up for 69 fantasy points. But over the last 3 games, man, we've seen the ceiling hit about 46 points, and we need more than that if we're going to be paying that much for him. In this spot, at the crib against Boston, you know what? I think I can get behind it, man. 9.3, I think I can get behind that. I can. Thaddeus Young, I absolutely love Thaddeus Young. Your athletic power forwards that are really dedicated to rebounding and scoring are guys that I will start against the Boston Celtics every time. Yo, Thad Young looks to be almost Corey in the spot. I kind of like him. Darren Collison at 5'6", that is just too cheap of a point guard play in a game that I think should go the distance. I think this game we should see starters off both sides for 4 complete quarters. This is a game that I actually like. And I like the fact that the scoring total is not that high. Like it's a 102 total. It's not low as shit, so you don't want to play anybody. It's high enough to where I think the starters could really make some noise. We don't have to look to the bench in this game. We can go to Vic Oladipo, Thad Young, Darren Collison. Those are the guys that I definitely like in the spot. On the other side, I think Kyrie Irving is in play at 8.1 easily. I love Al Horford at 7.6. This is a stackable game, bro. Even some Jaylen Brown at 5.5 looks to be usable, but we cannot forget that Vic Oladipo, one of the better on-ball defenders in the league. So this is a good game. I like this game. This is gonna be a nice one. I think on the Boston side, we get minutes. We see minutes from a guy like Terry Rozier or even Marcus Smart could really break this one open. I like those two guys as bench guys for the Bucks. Because Boston plays a little bit deeper than Indiana does. I mean, Indiana pretty much Lance Stevenson, Corey Joseph, and Domantas Sabonis. Those guys could get solid minutes. They could. But I mean, guys are going to come in and actually possess the ball and control it and run offense. None of these guys are going to come off of the bench and just dominate. And if Lance Stevenson is on the court in some sets, he's on the court with Vic Oladipo. Oladipo is still the guy, But there's some if Marcus Smart is on the floor, because that usually means that Kyrie is off, or if Terry Rozier is on the floor, that means usually Kyrie is going to be off. So those guys can really contribute a little bit more. So if I had to play bench guys on either side, it would be Smart, Rozier. I don't think this is the game to play the Lance Stevenson, to play the Corey Joseph, or even the Domantas Sabonis. While I do think that because the 4.3 is a little bit too much for Sabonis here. I love Thaddeus Young though. I do. He's one of my favorite players on the slate so far. Next game we got is going to be the Miami Heat going to Atlanta to take on the Hawks. We've got Dennis Schroeder at 7-7. Yes, sign me up. Also, we got Tragic Goran Dragic. Bro, this is it. Let me take a swig of the Sprite. This is it, okay? This is it. Tragic Dragic. This is the last shot. You only got one shot. I should have played like a song for this. This is your last chance with me, bro. This is it. 20, 27, 21, 30, 37. This is your last shot with me. 14, 12, okay? If you cannot get the best of this matchup in Atlanta, favored by 2.5 points against Dennis Schroeder, okay, at 6.1, I am done with you. But I do like him today. I like Goran Dragic today. I do like him. I think he's a very solid play. We've got Dion Waiters going to ATL, 5.8. I like him. I think Kelly Olynyk is in play at 6.2, but I'm not going to highlight him because I don't love him. Josh Richardson at 5.5. He looks to be in play for us as well. Maybe some Tyler Johnson if you need to look that deep on the bench. Yo, Dragic has been destroying us for quite some time. But I gotta think he can play well in the spot. Has he ever killed it against Atlanta? No. 30 earlier this season. That was at home. 30 against 30 away. 30, 40, 30. Gosh. Tragic is only a cash game player. Yeah, he's not a guy that's gonna separate the shit out of you in tournaments. He's not. But I like, for some reason I like him today. I do. Kent Bazemore 5'9" is a guy that I definitely can get behind. I like him. He's been playing quite well so far this season. John Collins at 6.1 is interesting because that price is going to separate the men from the boys, man. Either if you like them, you're going to pay it. If you don't like them a lot, you're not going to play it. Nobody's going to like talk you into playing John Collins. Either you like him or you don't. And I can tell you, I kind of like him at the 6.1 price point. I think I can get behind that. So I'm going to highlight the homie John Collins and Ersan Ilyasova at 5'1". He's the guy that's going to be giving up a little bit of those minutes to John Collins off of the bench. So this is going to be a good game, I think. I like the total is not super high in this one, too. Next game we got The Philadelphia 76ers going to Chicago to take on the Bulls here. We've got Chris Dunn priced at 7.5. He is no longer around 6K. And that's kind of tough because I do like Dunn in this matchup. So he's a guy that I'm gonna highlight that I can use. Nikola Mirotic at 7K. That is priced all the way up. Nwaba 4.9 priced up. Bobby Portis, man, at 5K. The last time that Bobby Portis like really went off, it was because Mirotic got those quick early fouls, and he ended up playing 29 minutes, scoring 43 points. But the thing I want to point out is, so we had 29 for Bobby Portis. What I want to point out is, look how many minutes Nikola Mirotic had in that same game. He played 29 minutes as well. So it wasn't like, I don't want you to be misled and think that, oh shit, you know, the only reason why Portis did well was because of the foul trouble. No, he played more in the beginning of the game because of the foul trouble that Mirotic was in, but they both ended up playing 29 minutes. And I think that that's kind of the way that they've cut that cake. I think as long as Lauri Markkanen is not starting, is out, then they're going to be splitting those minutes. And even when, they're going to split the backup minutes, I think. So Portis at 5K looks to be usable to me here. I kind of like Portis. I do. I think Portis is in a good spot. I wouldn't have an issue playing. Robin Lopez at 5.5. He is cheap as shit, but I want you to look at Justin Holiday, bro. At 4.8, he's going to be matched up with J.J. Redick. Justin Holiday is just too cheap at the crib against Philadelphia. The pace of this game is probably going to be dictated by the best player on the floor, which should be Ben Simmons, a guy that does like to get out, push the ball, run in transition, set shit up. He has a 41% usage rate. I like Justin Holiday here. I think Holiday is a very sneaky play that a lot of people are not going to want to get behind. On the other side, Ben Simmons at 9.9. I love to get him around. I love to get him under 10K, but this is so close to 10K that I'm not sure I absolutely love it. I'm not sure I love it. Let's take a look at Joel Embiid, man. Does he come back today or what? Okay, he's resting, so he comes back on the 19th. So okay, this is gonna pop. This game's gonna pop open. So you got Ben Simmons, who I like. You got Robert Covington, who is definitely in play here. Saric at 6.5. This guy was in play, even though he's priced up a little bit for me here. Rashawn Holmes at 4.5 is going to be in play. Maybe some TJ McConnell, because look at all these guys you got out, man. You got Booker, you got Joel Embiid. So the bench is pretty short. Rashawn Holmes, yeah. Yeah, Rashawn Holmes. Rashawn Holmes is going to crush. I like Rashawn Holmes here. Definitely. This could be a good game. This is like the game stat game. 209.5 total, because the total is good. It's over 200, but it's not so high to where it's just spread out throughout the whole roster. Like, you pretty much know the signature names that are going to be the ones that go off here. Like, these guys are going to play well. And JJ Redick could pop the top too at 5.9. He could, but that's priced up. That's asking a lot for JJ Redick. If I had to choose between Redick and Holiday, I would go Holiday. I would take the slasher who can step back and shoot the jump shot, rather than JJ Redick, who is just going to be chucking up threes all game. So, but I think both of these guys are in play. I think both of them are in play. More so for me is Justin Holiday. I love Holiday in this spot, though. God dog, I love Holiday. And then Denzel Valentine has been playing so bad recently. He got benched during the game, got taken out, and played, oh yes, right here, only played 18 minutes against Milwaukee because he was getting crushed. So then they went to David Nwaba, and he ended up balling. And he ended up playing 35 minutes in that same game. So Nwaba is definitely a guy that I really think you can take a look at. Yep, I think you can take a look at him. I like Nwaba. You see, Mirotic, that's 7K. I don't like it. I don't like it. That's too much. Yeah, Nwaba, Portis, Holiday, Chris Dunn. Those are guys I like. Nwaba been eating, bro. I like him at 4.9. Next thing we got is going to be the Utah Jazz and the Houston Rockets. Utah Jazz will definitely be without Rudy Gobert, probably for quite some time. So this is a smaller version of the Jazz, going to get out and run. We know that whenever Derek Favors is the lead dog in the front court, he can look to have a good game. He had an eye laceration, so it wasn't like a knee or an ankle or anything like that. It was like a concussion. He got hit in the face. So they're looking for him to come back today. 20 minutes ago, he was questionable for Monday's game. He was placed on NBA's concussion protocol Saturday and likely must be free of concussion-like symptoms by Monday morning before he can be cleared to play. So we're going to know early on if he's going to be fine to play. We're going to know early on. Do I like James Harden here? Yes. I do like him. I think Chris Paul is now priced to a spot where we can think about scaling back our exposure to him. That 9.9, that's a little bit too much for Chris Paul for me. Clint Capella's a game time decision at 7.4. What was Capella's issue? Because he just sat out last game. Okay, he had a heel injury. That was his thing. Okay, he's been ruled out for Saturday's game against the Bucks, and he picked up a left heel injury during Friday's contest against the Spurs, and the issue is apparently bothersome enough to keep him out for Saturday's tilt with the big man out. Look for Nene. Okay, cool. Yeah, that already happened. So Ariza 5.4. Too much. I could play James Harden here. James Harden, maybe some PJ Tucker if something happens and Clint Capella's not playing. But aside from that, I don't really love that. Donovan Mitchell, yes. 7.4. Really like Donovan Mitchell. Ricky Rubio is still cheap at 4.9, but he's going to be seeing some Chris Paul defense. And Ricky Rubio is a guy that doesn't mind turning the ball over. So I'm not too excited or enthused about playing Ricky Rubio, but I do like Donovan Mitchell here. Joe Ingles at 5.3 looks to be in play. And Joe Johnson is back, so that's going to really shorten that rotation, I think, because Joe Johnson gets a lot of quality minutes, in that spot. And if Udo, if he's starting at 4.7, you might want to take a look at him because he had a really nice game last time, and he's a guy that really good shot blocker, man. That's good roll to the basket, pick and roll style. So this game, I don't love this game. There's no over under for it yet. But I think there's a few pieces that we can definitely use. The next game we got is going to be the Portland Trailblazers going to Minnesota to take on the Timberwolves. This should be an exciting game. A lot of running and gunning. Bad defense. Karl-Anthony Towns, 10.7 is most certainly in play. Jimmy Butler is now a game-time decision. He's priced up to 9K anyway. His back it's been giving him trouble. And the estimated return is today. But the last thing we saw is that he's dealing with a sore back. So there's a chance the Timberwolves opted to take a cautious approach and hold him out Monday. He was only able to go through portions of practice Sunday, which doesn't bode well for his eventual availability. And I hope he doesn't play. Because if he doesn't play, then I know I can play some Andrew Wiggins, who I like anyway at 6.3. I think Wiggins is turning a corner and is getting to a spot where he's safe and he's a little bit more comfortable in the offense. So he's a guy that I'm going to be taking a look at. Taj Gibson at 5.8. Don't really love him. Jeff Teague at 6.4. I would say he is usable, but we've seen Portland limit point guards, bro. They are being really tough on point guards. But Jeff Teague is a guy, very crafty veteran at 6.4. I think I can give him a play. Now with Jimmy Butler, let's say Jimmy Butler is out. That's going to shorten up the rotation a bit, and we're going to see some more minutes for Jamal Crawford. We're going to see some more minutes for Gorgie Jang in some spots. So look to those guys too if it's announced that Jimmy Butler's going to be out. On the other side, big game Dame, under 9K. Jeff Teague defense, sign me the fuck up. I like big game. I like Dame here. Dame is definitely in play. Nurk, 6.8. If we know that the minutes limit is off of him, the injury tag is off of him, and he's good to go, you can play bigs easily against the Minnesota Timberwolves. Yusuf Nurkic is definitely a play that I want to make use of. Aminu at 5.2. Don't really love that. Evan Turner at 3.8 could be usable. Don't love CJ McCollum in this spot, especially if Jimmy Butler's going to be covering him, man. I don't love him. Next game we got is going to be the Denver Nuggets going to Oklahoma City to take on the Thunder. This should be a good one. Russell Westbrook, 11.3. Yes, he's definitely playable. We've got Carmelo Anthony at 6.7. I think the price is cheap on him. He is playable to me. I don't love him, but I think he's playable. The first thing I want to do, though, is I'm going to go find out who the fuck is Carmelo Anthony going to be guarding, and I want to play that guy. And it should be Wilson Chandler. Like, Wilson Chandler should be matching up with Carmelo Anthony. They were actually traded for each other, so that's pretty much a little small narrative if you believe in those things. I like him. I like Wilson Chandler here. He's probably gonna be that's who's probably gonna be guarding him. I like Wilson Chandler here. Now it's either Wilson Chandler or because Torrey Craig can't start this game. They can't do that. There's no fucking way. They've got to get York in here at 8.9. Him against Adams is out, so that definitely opens up the floor for Nikola Jokic. Dakari Johnson was the guy that started at center last time. So yes, give me some Jokic here at 8.9. Gary Harris at 6.7. Don't love that. The price is up a little bit. Jamal Murray at 6.1. I don't love that either. I like Wilson Chandler. I like Jokic. Will Barton off of the bench at 6.7. If I'm going to pay that much, I'm going to pay for a guy who's going to get in the game and fucking chuck it. That's what I'm going to do. You know what I mean? You like anyone versus I like pretty much anybody. If Melo's playing, I like anybody against Melo. Let's take a look against the Thunder, see what happens. 10, 33, 38, 51. So he's had very good games against Oklahoma City. The last one, not so much, 10.6. But I think he's in line for a nice one. Is Pat in play? Well, yeah, I'd have to say so. I would love it if he was 3 point something. Being at 4.5, that's kind of telling you he's gonna get almost 20 minutes coming off of the bench. So he's usable. If you like him at 4.5, I wouldn't have an issue. Trey Lyles has been getting minutes too, and he's now 4.9. That's a guy that we could consider as well. Next game we got is going to be the Phoenix Suns going to Dallas to take on the Mavericks. You got TJ Warren at 7.8. Yes, I like him, even though he's priced up some. I think I can get behind him. How long do we have for Devin Booker, man? Devin Booker needs to come back. Oh, he's estimated to come back after Christmas. Okay. So Tyson Chandler at 5K. Don't really love that. Plus, we don't know exactly how that rotation is going to go in terms of centers until midway through the afternoon. Josh Jackson, no. Tyler Ulis at 4.5. Could be in play for us here against the Mavericks. Yogi Ferrell at 4.8. Yes, he is definitely playable here. See, this is good because it's always good to play guys against Phoenix because they just suck so bad. And a lot of times you can look to the cheap, man, and play cats that are not going to cost you much against the Phoenix Suns, and they can really help you out. Like Wesley Matthews at 4.8 is going to be a usable play. Maxi Kleber at 4.4. You could look there. Dennis Smith Jr. looks to be a game-time decision in this one. He could come back. Okay. What was his deal? He had a hip. Okay. It was recently reported that Smith could potentially return Monday following a 5-game layoff due to a hip injury, and his listing as questionable is additional evidence regarding that possibility. Okay, so he could come back. And if he does at 5.7, I wouldn't have a problem if you playing him. I generally don't love to play cats back in their first game from injury, but if we find out that he's playing and there's no limit on his minutes, at 5.7, the guy with that type of talent, you've got to give him a shot. So J.J. Barea also looks to be in play at 5.3. I don't love Harrison Barnes, and Dirk Nowitzki is a dinosaur, so I will not be playing a dinosaur against the Phoenix Suns. And we got to get a little bit more clear about the center stuff too for Phoenix too. The next game we got is going to be the Los Angeles Clippers going to San Antonio to take on the Spurs. We got Kawhi Leonard. He is a game-time decision. This opens it all the way up for me and LaMarcus Aldridge. Love him in this spot. I think Danny Green at 4.7. If he's a game-time decision, he could be a guy that we could make use of. Rudy Gay, 5.9. I love Rudy Gay in this spot. I don't want to play a ton from this game, though, because it's 11.5 differential here. So I don't want to play a ton from this game. We got Milos, 4.9. I think he's going to be usable. DeAndre Jordan at 8.2. I don't love that. I really don't. Austin Rivers, a game-time decision. He suffered from a concussion, so he should be good to go and coming back. And so that's going to kill all of the that's going to kill a lot of the Lou Williams for me, because there's just not enough minutes for all of the motherfuckers. For Milos, Lou Williams, the Juwan Evans kid who kind of came on a little bit. It's just not enough for everybody. It's not enough. And as a matter of fact, I just don't even like this game much. I can fade this complete game. Last game on the state, it's going to be the Golden State Warriors and the Los Angeles Lakers. Curry is out. Draymond Green is out. Jaja Pachulia is out. Sean Livingston is out. So pretty much what you see is what you get. And you're getting Kevin Durant priced all the way up here to 12K. And he's had some very good games recently while we've seen those guys missing. 60, 51, 74, 66. If that trend continues, he is playable at 12K. But me, I would just take my chances on like the discounted guys. Like if Jordan Bell is going to be getting a lot of minutes, 4.7. That's okay. Caspi at 4.5 looks to be an okay play. Iguodala at 4.4 because regardless of how many guys Golden State have, they're going to play a lot of them. Like they play very deep down to their bench. So even Clay at 7.2 looks to be playable here. Lonzo Ball, 7.3. He is definitely playable. Brandon Ingram at 7.4. What has Ingram done against him? Let's take a look. Yeah, he dropped 50 against him in an overtime game last time they played. And remember, bro, this is like without Draymond. This is without Curry. So there's no guarantee this game is going to blow out at all. All right, and the game is in LA, so Kentavious Caldwell-Pope can actually play in this one. And at 5.4, Klay Thompson defense, still a guy. He's still a guy. I think is usable. I think he's usable. Ingram's 7K. That's a lot, but he's playable. Larry Nance 4.9. He's playable. It's so sad that Brook Lopez is starting at center. He's 4.2 and he's not playable. I can't play him in the spot. That is so sad because we know they're gonna go small as shit and run him off of the floor. Kyle Kuzma at 5.4 looks to be a guy you can play. And Julius Randle, I'm not really heavy on Julius Randle. I'm not really heavy on Julius Randle. So pretty solid slate of games. Let's go ahead and check over on that was all of that was FanDuel. Oh shit. Let's go check out the DraftKings scores, man. Just take a look. Pope is out. No, Caldwell Pope is out when they play Caldwell Pope is out when they play away games. He can play at the crib. He just can't play away, I don't think. So now let's go look at DraftKings, where Kemba Walker at 7.1. Oh shit, yes, he is playable. He is the chalk. Dwight Howard 7.8 is playable here. And Nicholas Batum 5.7 could be usable. Marvin Williams 4.4. Okay. Now we're over on DraftKings, okay? Where Chris Stapps is still priced up at 9K. Enes Kanter is 6.4. I don't love that one. Courtney Lee 5.8. We getting Beasley at 4.6. That's lucky if you don't have Chris Stapps Porzingis. Beasley at 4.6. Frank Nitti at 4.2. That's playable. All right. Boston, Indiana. Kyrie at 8.5. Yeah, you can play Kyrie. Vic Oladipo under 9K on DraftKings is definitely in play against Boston. Miles Turner at 6.3. You could look to play him. I love Thaddeus Young at 5.9. Collison at 5.5 is in play. This is nice. Smart and Rozier 4.4, 5.1. Al Horford at 6.9. He is definitely playable. I kind of like that one. Then over on DraftKings, Goran Dragic is 6.1, so he's still definitely playable. He's super playable on FanDuel at 6.1 though. Dion Waiters 5.5. I like that. That's playable. Dennis Schroeder at 7.2. Yes, you can play Dennis Schroeder definitely in this spot. Kent Bazemore at 5.8 looks to be playable as well. And John Collins at 5.4 is a guy that I think you can use. What's up here? Josh Richardson at 4.8. Okay, I wouldn't have an issue there. Philadelphia, Chicago. Chris Dunn, 6.8. I love that. I think he's in play under 7K. Robin Lopez at 4.8. Looks to be somewhat usable. Justin Holiday at 4.9. He is cheaper on FanDuel at 4.8. I love that. Denzel Valentine, no. Mirtic is 5.9 on DraftKings. He's a lot more playable on DraftKings than he is on FanDuel. Nwaba 4.2. Yes, that is playable, as is Bobby Porter's 4.7. I'm not saying stack all of them, but those guys are in play. That's as deep as they go. Maybe some Jerry Grant and Paul Zipser sees a little bit of minutes, but pretty much they go 8 deep. That's where they're at. On the other side, Covington at 6.3. Yes. Ben Simmons under 10K is usable without Joel Embiid, certainly. Redick is 5.6. I don't love that on DraftKings. Sark at 5.8. Yeah, you can play that all day long. Rashawn Holmes at 4.1, of course. That's a guy that you can play over on DraftKings. TJ McConnell at 4.2. I can use that. Then Utah and Houston. James Harden, bro, is under 11K. Ooh, yeah. That's playable. Chris Paul, 9K. I don't love that. Capella is 6.5. If he plays, I think I can use it on DraftKings. Eric Gordon, 4.7, looks to be usable as well. On the other side, we got Donovan Mitchell, under 7K on DraftKings, man. That's fucking usable. 5.1. Ricky Rubio costs less on FanDuel than he does on DraftKings. Take a look at that, bro. Take a look at that. I'm gonna highlight him on FanDuel. He's cheaper. He's 4.9 on FanDuel. That is usable. That definitely is. Then you got the Udo kid is 3.7. That's definitely a play you can look at if Clint Capella is gonna be out. Derek Favors, we need some more clarification on if he's gonna be playing or not. Then we got Portland and Minnesota. Jimmy Butler is 8.4, one of those game time decisions. Karl-Anthony Towns, ooh shit, yes, at 8.8. I love Cat here on DraftKings. Nurk at 6.2. God, the pricing is so soft today on DraftKings, bro. There's gonna be some high scores tonight. There is. Jeff Teague at 6.3. I don't love that, but he's playable. Wiggins at 6.1. I love Wiggins here at 6.1. Evan Turner at 3.8. I think is gonna be in play. Big Game Dame at 8.9. Yes, you can use him against Jeff Teague defense. Jamal Crawford 3.5. That's usable if Jimmy Butler's going to be out. Then we got Denver and Oklahoma City. Jokic at 8.1. Yes, I like him. Gary Harris 6.1. That's no. Jamal Murray at 5.7. Yeah, I can play that. Wilson Chandler at 4.5. Give me that. I love that. I love Wilson Chandler here. Westbrook at 11.2. He's going to be playable. As is. Now, I'm not on Carmelo on DraftKings. I'm not. Jeremy Grant, Pat. Nah. Barton at 6.4. Yes, you can use that. Maybe some Trey Lyles at 4.6. Phoenix and Dallas. TJ Warren at 6'3". Fuck yeah. If TJ Warren is almost 8K on FanDuel, he's 6'3" on DraftKings. You can use that. Dirk Nowitzki 4.6. I don't love that. Give me some Wesley Matthews. Yogi Ferrell is cheaper on FanDuel, I think, than he is on DraftKings. That's something to look at. Maxi Kleber is 3.7. Yes, that's usable. J. Barea 6.2. That's just too much for Barea on DK. He's priced cheaper on FanDuel. He's more playable on FanDuel. All right. Then we got the LA Clippers and the San Antonio Spurs. Aldridge 8.2. I like that. I did like Rudy Gay at 5.7. I don't have an issue there. If we may not see, well, Tony Parker's probably going to get the start here at 4.2, and I don't love that one. Milos at 4.9. I guess that's usable. DeAndre Jordan at 7.1. That's pretty cheap. That's usable here. Sweet Lou at 7.4 on DraftKings. Yo, Sweet Lou is cheaper on FanDuel than DraftKings. He's 7.1 on FanDuel. It makes him look a little usable over on FanDuel. Last game of the slate on DraftKings is Golden State and the Los Angeles Lakers, excuse me. KD is 11.6. Yes, that's usable. Klay Thompson 7K. Yes. Caspi and Jordan Bell, those guys are 4.5 and 4.1. You can use them. You could dial at 4.2. Looks to be usable. On the other side, and David West too at 3.6. I like David West. Lonzo is under 7K, so of course he's going to be a guy that's usable. Brandon Ingram 6.6. I like that. KCP at 6K. I don't love that. KCP is cheaper on FanDuel than he's on DraftKings. Brook Lopez is 4.7. Brook Lopez is 4.2 on FanDuel. That's going to make me look at him a little bit closer. He's 4.7 on DraftKings. That's $500 difference. Larry Nance 4.5, usable. Julius Randle 5.2, don't love that. Kyle Kuzma 5.6 is a guy that we can use. And maybe some Jordan Clarkson. So that's going to be our FanDuel to DraftKings comparison. Big shout out to everybody. This has been your host, the DFS Jerusalem. You can follow me on Twitter at DFS Jerusalem. If you want to get in here and see exactly how we're doing it, man, at 5:30 today, we're going to be chopping up the slate. If you want to be a part of it, man, it's very simple. You go to the website, the www.dfssweatshop.com. From there, you go ahead and you choose what you want, man. You choose if you want to be a part of our monthly 50 cents a day, bro, $14.99 per month, or if you want to join us for an entire calendar year, 365 takes you all the way back to this point next year. That's $119.99. So there's some savings involved in that. That's going to take you through the rest of football, NBA, baseball, all the way back around to the point that we are now. So go to the website, check that out. RotoQL, a link to that is in the description of this video. This has been the DFS Jerusalem. Much love to you, man. I hope to see you all inside of the Facebook VIP chop up that we're gonna do at 5:30. Get there, be there. But the one thing I want y'all to do is always keep it 300. Peace. We out.